Is The Rage of Dragons good? No. It's great. Was that really corny? Yes. Yes, it was. But anyways, let's discuss The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. So our story starts off with the queendom of the Omehi, and it's ran by a queen and her champion. They sit at the top. So it's a queendom that is fleeing their homeland from this evil, mysterious force known as the Cull. They arrived at this new land where it's filled with a bunch of tribes known as the Destined. Due to a series of unfortunate events, the queendom and the tribes, the Destined, are at war with each other forever. It's kind of like how in Game of Thrones you have the king beyond the wall who's gathered together all the savages to attack the kingdom. It's like that. There's a giant wall and there's an eternal battle just going on at all times. But that's not where we find our main character Tao. Our main character Tao is in a smaller village and he's a lesser, which is near the very bottom in the hierarchy of society. He's pretty much near the bottom. He doesn't have a lot of choice as far as how he gets to live his life. And really all he wants to do, all the kid wants to do, and I say kid, but he's like an older teenager. He just wants to be with the woman he loves and kind of just run away from the world and all its problems. Due to a series of unfortunate events, he eventually wants to become the greatest swordsman in all the land. Some things happen and he needs to seek vengeance. He needs revenge against a particular individual or few individuals. In order to do that, he has to be a great swordsman. So he goes on a training arc. I kept thinking, as I'm reading this, that man, this really feels like Rocky. Yes, the boxing movie. The one, you know, dun 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 dun, that. Because the training montage, it's not even really a montage. I mean, there's just a training arc that takes place in this book that will make you want to get up, put down the book, go to the gym, or go for a run, or become the greatest swordsman in all the land, or just, it will inspire you. That, I think, is probably one of my favorite things. It's like, as I'm reading this, I'm like, man, I need to do more. With what? I don't know, but fuck man, I need to do more. And Tao is such an inspirational character. The way he goes after each and every goal, I shouldn't say each and every goal, there's just the one goal, but the way he goes after that one goal, I would say he's beyond obsessed with trying to become a great swordsman. And you might say like, okay, well, that sounds kind of boring, right? To train to be like a swordsman, okay, what is he gonna do? He's gonna sit there and he's gonna train with this sword every day. I don't wanna spoil anything, but it's not that simple. But the training is intense. There's a lot of great quotes. It's an inspirational book, what can I say? The Rage of Dragons is a African-inspired fantasy, so it's different than what we normally see. Most fantasies seem to always be based on medieval Europe. This is not that, so we get a nice little change of pace, which I think is cool. This book is so fast-paced, like I want to say it's over 500 pages, but it feels like maybe 250. This book flies by. You have fighting scenes followed by emotional scenes followed by war scenes and training scenes and competition scenes, and just there's so much conflict. And this is Evan Winter's first novel. This is the first thing he's written, and the man knows how to instill conflict in just every scene. Whether it's an argument or a fight to the death, every single chapter is going to have something really interesting and engaging, and it's just going to push, I don't want to say push, like you're going to get dragged through this story, and you're going to probably finish it really fast. Although, the one caveat to that would be, I want to say it took me, I don't want to spoil it with saying like an exact page number, but somewhere between page 100 and 130, I found myself suddenly emotionally invested in the story. Like the first 100 pages are filled with action, they're filled with drama, they're filled with conflict, but I didn't really care until we got to a certain point, and then I was like, I want to know what happens next. I want to know what Tao's gonna do. I need to know. I need to know. So I will say that if you read like 75 pages, normally, like typically, I would give a book 50 pages. If it didn't hook me by 50 pages, I'm gonna DNF it and then just move on. But this, just stick with it. Stick with it a little longer. Like I said, if you get to page 130 and you still don't like it, then fine, whatever. But at least stick it out that much, because it just gets better and better and better and better. This book is called The Rage of Dragons. But there's a lot more rage than dragons. Like the rage to dragon ratio is pretty one-sided. Tons of rage. Dragons, they make some cameos. They make some like celebrity guest appearances, but don't expect them to be like all throughout the novel. They just kind of show up here and there. There's plenty of magic in this story, and a lot of that magic comes by way of the gifted, which are the women of this world have a connection to this other realm, really. Using that connection, they can make some people much bigger and stronger. They can use their magic to make these other warriors grow huge and enraged, or they can send out this, like, I want to call it a psychic blast that like destroys people mentally. It just wrecks their mind. They can also use that magic to summon dragons. And so we have this other world, this other realm that's just filled with demons. And anybody who kind of uses magic has to deal with the threat of the demons finding them and shredding their mind and destroying them, ripping them apart. So there's another level to the battles and to the when people are at war and you see all the warriors fight each other, and then people using magic and fighting kind of in this other realm. There's a lot of variables that come into play when battles are fought. I'm very surprised that this is Evan Winter's first novel. He is definitely a competent writer. Like I said, he understands conflict and tension. The book is interesting from start to finish. There's a lot of fighting throughout this novel, and Evan Winter paints each and every battle in such a fluid and smooth way. He's good at writing fight scenes. As far as any kind of rating, I'd have to put this actually in my top 10 favorite fantasy novels of all time. And I'm putting together that list and I'll share it with you in the near future. But this is a great fantasy novel. I would say this is absolutely a must-buy. The second book, Fires of Vengeance, that's really good too. I'm reading it with some friends and you'll probably see content about that go up very soon. But The Rage of Dragons, I'd put that in the legendary status. That is a great novel, highly recommend. Go out and read it. If you've already read it, then check out the other content I've had. Me and some other friends had a discussion filled with spoilers. I'll link that down below. And until next time, later.